Hey everyone, I'm Mark from Travel Shorts and welcome to Rome in Italy. I am here for just one day. In fact, I'm going to be leaving tonight on a sleeper train bound for Sicily at 11:25 tonight. So I'm going to try and make the most of the day as I possibly can. I'm going to visit as many attractions as I can see in just one day. To start with, I'm going to start walking from here, Rome Termini station, all the way into the centre of the city and the main tourist attractions that are there. The very first thing I'm going to do once I do get there is go on a free walking tour, which will show me all around the main points of the city. I'm going to be doing that with a company called Guru Walks. If you've watched my videos before, you know I use Guru Walks for all my free walking tours around the world. I'll talk a little bit more about them when I get a bit closer. It's going to be about a 30-minute walk from the train station here into the centre of the city. The first place I've come across while walking into the city is the Basilica di Santa Maria, behind me here. Both doors look closed and there's a big fence. Maybe you go around the other side to go in, but I am due to meet our guide shortly, so I'm going to continue walking. I've just come into probably the most popular place around Italy. If you look over my shoulder there, I think you'll recognise that building. I don't need to give her any sort of introduction, and I will be there later to go around inside. From here, we have got all this history around me. I'm going to continue in that direction. As part of my ticket to the Colosseum, I do get to go into all this area here. So I will be coming back here later in the day. But for now, I'm going to keep walking in that direction, meet up with our Guru Walks guide and start doing a walking tour around the city. I've explained how the concept of Guru Walks works in my previous videos, but if you are new to the channel, it is a free walking tour, so you don't have to pay anything to go on there. But if you enjoy the tour, if you think the guide's really good, they do expect a tip at the end. I generally tip anything between 20, 30 euros maybe. If you are interested in this tour I'm going to be going on, I will leave a link to it in the description down below, or you can scan the QR code which is on the screen here, and I'll take you directly to their website where you can book onto this tour. Looks like they're setting up here to do some sort of filming. Big camera behind me there. There's also a camera, you can't see it through the gate, on a crane over there. There's lots of tours gathering outside the gates here. I've made it to the Basilica San Marco. That's it behind me there. You can see it going up there. I'm about 10 minutes early, so I'm just going to sit around somewhere and just enjoy the view of that fabulous building behind me there. We have just checked in with our Guru Walks guide. We're going to set off on the tour in a minute. There's a few no-shows, so we're just giving them a WhatsApp message to see if they are going to be attending or not. So it's quite a big group, as you can see behind me. Setting off in just a couple of minutes. This building right by here, before this was built, Michelangelo, I guess you guys know who Michelangelo is, used to live in a building by here. In fact, he lived there for many years. He had workshops there, and it's where he created some of his masterpieces. We are taking a short 9-minute break at the Trevi Fountain. And since I was last here back in 2023, you now have to buy a ticket to actually go down to the fountain itself. Before you could just walk down there. It's always been really busy like it is currently. It is one of the biggest tourist attractions in Rome. It is quite difficult to actually fight your way through the people to actually get a look at the fountain as well. Current tour, you might have noticed I haven't filmed that much because just before the tour started, I did what I normally do with these Guru Walks guides. I just go up to him and ask politely, is it okay if I film during the tour? And he actually said no. I have filmed a few things, but obviously I haven't got the guide in any of those. And if I'm going to be completely honest, this isn't one of the better Guru Walks tours I've done. In fact, it's down in the bottom half of all the free walking tours I've ever done. So I probably wouldn't recommend this one. 3 years ago, I did an amazing one here in Rome. Probably the best tour I've ever done. And I will leave a link down there in the description to that previous Guru Walks tour. Like I said, that is the best free walking tour I have ever been on in my life here in Rome 3 years ago. Anyway, I think my 9 minutes is up. It's time to go back and meet the rest of the group. So this is the Basilica of St. Ignatius. We've got 5 minutes break in here, so I'm just going to have a really quick look around, and then we're meeting the rest of the group and the guide outside. And if you look directly above me there, that's not actually a dome. This basilica didn't have enough money to make a dome on the top of the roof, so that's just a forced perspective painting. I'm not sure what this is. Maybe it's a mirror to look up at the ceiling. But there is a big line to do it. I have just finished that walking tour. We finished by the Pantheon. So I'm just going to go to the front of it. We finished it by the back of the Pantheon. Going to head to the front. Show you what it looks like. I did come in here 3 years ago. It looks like you need tickets to go in now, costing €5.50, which if I've got time later, I will do that. But I've got to be at the Colosseum in 50 minutes time. It's about a 25 to 30 minute walk from here. So I'm just going to take a few photos at the front of the Pantheon. Then I'm going to head over to the Colosseum. Like I said, that wasn't one of the better tours that I went on. I still give him a reasonable tip at the end, obviously, because he was with us for over 3 hours, 10 minutes, and I'm sure it was only meant to be a 2.5 hour tour. But yeah, I will leave a link to this tour and the one that I 100% recommend down there in the description. There we go. There is the entrance to the Pantheon. Looks like if you got tickets, you go that way. And like I said, the last time I came here, I'm 100%, well, say 98% sure you didn't need a ticket to go in. You just had to queue up and wait your turn. Same as the Trevi Fountain as well. You didn't need a ticket to go down to the Trevi Fountain. So it looks like they're after money every way they can get it at the moment. The Pantheon has been here for 1900 years. It has a huge dome, obviously, right at the very top. That's what it's famous for. It is one of the very first dome structures in the world. Those doors in front of me there, although they are open, they are the original doors. So those doors have been open and closed every day for 1900 years. Can't see them at the moment because they are open, but in my previous video from three years ago, we did come here at night when those doors were closed. So if you want to check out my other video that I made in Rome from 3 years ago with my son Matthew, daughter Holly, is have a look at our epic European adventure where we spent 22 days going all the way through Europe to 11 countries over the little summer holidays. Anyway, that's enough hanging around the Pantheon. I gotta get a move on, go to the Colosseum. If I'm late, I won't be allowed in. The plan was for me to get lunch at this time as well, because that tour, like I said, was only meant to be 2.5 hours long. Getting really hungry now, didn't get any breakfast. It's about 2:20. My ticket is for 3 o'clock. So I'll have to have lunch after I finish in the Colosseum. And then once I do finish in the Colosseum as well, that's when I'm going to go into the Roman Forum and Palatine Hill, which is where we were looking earlier. And basically where I started that Guru Walk talk earlier this morning, I've got that big monument building behind me there. This building behind me here, which he did mention on the tour, but obviously I couldn't film. This used to be Mussolini's headquarters pre the Second World War, or during the Second World War and before the Second World War. And he would give speeches off that balcony over there. And there's apparently a really famous photo of him giving a speech just by that window over there. That building at the end of the street, see that with that balcony there? Do you know who lived there at one point in her life? Napoleon Bonaparte's mother. She was granted sanctuary here by the Pope, so she was allowed to live in Rome without being extradited to anywhere else in the world. So she lived there for a number of years, gradually going insane in later life. Anyway, let's keep walking. That's a very quick... that police car's loud. Anyway, we're going to keep walking. That's very quick information about these two buildings. That big white monument building there was to commemorate the founding of the, what was it? The third Italian era, I guess you're going to call it, the Republic of Italy. The guy sitting on the horse was the king at the time, and he's got a mustache, and that mustache measures 2 meters in each direction. So that's a 4-meter mustache that guy's got there on the horse. Built in 1800 and something. But I'm going to walk past now, basically following the same route that I did this morning to actually get to our walking tour. I got my Colosseum tickets for today via their official website. There's 3 options to enter. You can either get the standard ones, which is what I've got today. You can get arena floor ones, which is you can go onto the arena floor of the Colosseum. That's what we did 3 years ago. And they also do ones where you can go into the basement, which is what I really wanted for this trip. But unfortunately, I couldn't get the tickets. So when it comes to getting Colosseum tickets, they literally sell out sometimes within seconds, never mind minutes, of becoming available. They're available on their website exactly a month in advance in 15-minute slots. So 15 minutes for when you're coming to enter the Colosseum. So I was there on my computer a month ago, refreshing all the time, trying to get availability for the basement tickets. Every time, literally within pressing my mouse, they were just getting sold out, or the computer was freezing, or the website was freezing, I should say. I did that all day for the entirety. Every 15 minutes, I would be pressing my mouse, trying to refresh. Just didn't get them in the end. In fact, I kept refreshing the browser so many times. I was getting kicked off and banned off their website. They thought it was a DOS attack, basically, so they would not let me back on the website. I'd have to use a VPN to then reroute my internet activity via America, France, Italy, Spain, wherever, because it got kicked off so many times. I was even going through my phone, and then I get kicked off, so then I have to do another VPN on my phone. But so even though every 15 minutes I was refreshing, I was still not able to get the basement level tickets to get into the Colosseum today, which I was really upset about. So I thought, I know, let's just get the arena ones again like I did before. It's a little bit different than just a standard ticket. But because I'd waited right to the very end of the day, because I was trying to get those basement tickets, There was no arena tickets available either, so that's why I've just got standard tickets for today, which it still gets me into the Colosseum. It gets me to walk around the Colosseum. I just don't go onto the arena floor, and I don't get to go into the basement. Tickets also include entry to the Roman Forum and Palatine Hill, which is behind me here, and that's where I'll be going after I finish inside the Colosseum. Actually, when I finish in the Colosseum, I will probably try and get some lunch because I am really hungry now. In fact, I'm very, very hungry. See the Colosseum right ahead of me here. Right, let's see where we get in. Got my ticket. Let's go in. There was 2 ticket inspection points outside. One of those you need to show your ID, so I've carried my passport with me today. It is now airport style security to get into the building, or the amphitheatre I should say itself. Now, what was a bit silly about those x-ray machines, there was nothing to actually put, those like plastic buckets or trays that you have in a normal airport to put your things in. So I had all my individual batteries. I'm not carrying a bag today. So my wallet, my camera, my phone, my power bank, 2 batteries, some hand sanitizer, and my SD card holder. I had to put all those just on the belt, not in a tray. So when it came out the other end, they kind of went through those little reels and fell to the floor. Because even before going in, I held them up to say, do I need to do that? And they went, yeah, and put it on the thing. So maybe have some little trays for people who aren't carrying a bag, just to put the individual items on. Anyway, I'm about to enter the Colosseum. I have just gone up a couple of flights of stairs. I'm now inside the Colosseum with a line in front of me. We're just going to go around the arena clockwise, well, around the amphitheatre. We're not going down to the arena floor like I mentioned. I couldn't get those tickets in the end. Very busy. So down there is the arena floor. That's where I was last time. And for this trip, I wanted to go down there in the basement. But like I said, just could not get the tickets. Now, I seem to remember from last time I was here, the better overlook and photo spot was actually exactly opposite where we are here, which is over there. I'm going to take my time going around. I've got plenty of time to spend here. Might as well get my money's worth, even though it's actually reasonably priced. I put how much it was on the screen here, how much this ticket was, and even the full ticket where you go down onto the arena floor or the basement or even the attic was only a few euros more. There wasn't that much difference in between them. It's just they're a lot rarer. Now I'm conscious that I'm going to film a lot in here today, but the majority of it is going to look exactly the same. Ooh, finally found a bit of shade. From this angle, you can see that there's currently a tour in the underground section going on at the moment. So those run about every 15 minutes. And you can see it's a very small group. What's that? 2, 4, 6, 8, maximum of 10 people, I'm going to say. And it was just impossible for me to get those tickets for today. Like I said, I really, really tried. I couldn't have tried any harder. I think that's going to conclude my time here on this level at the Colosseum. I'm going to go back down to the ground floor make my way to the exit. And to get to the exit as well, I think you do go through that lower level. I've come down to the lower level. I'm about to go through the exit, but look at that. Got a really great view of the underground sections from by here. And just over there is the arena floor and then the underground section here. And then if you are interested, up there, that's the attic area. That again is a separate ticket. I'm just going to walk along this lower level towards the exit, leave, and then I can't even call it lunch anymore because it is just after 4 o'clock. So I'm going to call it an early dinner. Really, really hungry. And then after that, I'll go to Palatine Hill and the Roman Forum. That closes 7:30 tonight or 7:15. The last entry is at 6:15, so I've still got a good couple of hours before I need to get there. Hopefully dinner will only be about an hour maximum, which will give me plenty of time exploring the Forum and Palatine Hill. Over there is a reconstruction of what the seats used to look like. So they've got some marble seats over there. And just imagine all those, all the way around, all the way to the top. And I think from memory, this amphitheatre used to hold either 55 or 65,000 people. So can you imagine how busy it used to be? To get in as well, it was free of charge. They didn't have to have a ticket. And they even provided free bread to everybody attending, because they thought by keeping the population happy with free entertainment and free food, they wouldn't notice or care about the shortcomings of the politicians. And then if the people don't have a go at the politicians, then the politicians are happy. If they did start having a go at the politicians and the Senate, then the Senate would start plotting to assassinate Caesar or plotting to assassinate the emperor. So keep the people happy, even if things are falling down around them. Last time I was here, they were actually doing renovation work on this lower level. So this is the first time I've ever been on this lower level here. And there is a great view of the underground section right behind me here. This is the closest I've ever come to it. And then over there is the arena floor. That arena floor was open last time, so that's what I did last time with my son Matthew and daughter Holly. We did go to that arena floor, then went up onto the higher levels all the way around and then left. And that's what I'm going to do now. The exit's right ahead of me here. I'm going to head out and get something to eat. Behind me there is the way to get to the Roman Forum and Palatine Hill. I'm going to go in that direction and look for a restaurant. I'm going to head up this hill because it does look like there might be some cafes or some restaurants up there. Keep my fingers crossed there's some nice ones at reasonable prices. Although I doubt they'd be reasonable price if they're this close to the Colosseum. Now, there's a cafe in that building behind me there. Word of advice, do not go to it. At least 3 years ago, that's where we went for some lunch. And they served Holly, my daughter, a microwave lasagna. And it was still slightly frozen inside. So yeah, do not go there. I've just come to one of the many cafes on the street here, not too far away from the Colosseum. Got myself a lasagna and a limonata, or a lemonade. And this is the first drink I've had since I left the hotel this morning. So cheers. Okay, my lasagna's arrived. And it looks like a dessert that has just fallen on the floor. Ready for this? Now that is nothing like I expected it to look like. Oh well, let's see what it tastes like. Yep, tastes like it looks. Okay, so this was €12. Drink was 6. So 18 euros in total, plus I think there'd be a service charge of €2.50. So let's just say 20 euros for this lasagna and a drink. Right, I've finished my dinner. I'm going to try and find like a little shop or somewhere, buy myself another drink of that lemonade or limonata. Didn't really fill me up very much. I'm really thirsty. And here, mini market already. Got myself a Pepsi. This was €2. I'm going to drink this, and then I think I might look for a gelato shop, get myself an ice cream, then head over to the Roman Forum and Palatine Hill. Now, I do feel a little bit ripped off with this gelato, to be honest. So this was €5.50. Like, there isn't exactly that much in there. You only put 3 scoops, so 3 tiny scoops. I can remember last time we were in Rome or anywhere in Italy, we were having gelatos. They were absolutely huge. They were like big cricket balls sticking on top of at the end of the cones. Not this time. I maybe picked the wrong shop to go to. But at least it'd be refreshing. Gonna have this while walking back to Palatine Hill. Probably be there in about 5 minutes' time. I can remember one of the ones we went to last time, right by the Pantheon. That tasted really, really good, and there was loads of it. Maybe if I've got enough time later this evening, I'll go back there. It's about 20 minutes walk from here, but I might be walking in that direction anyway. And get another one. Well, that'd be a bit more satisfying than this. Look, I basically had 2 bites and you can't even see the ice cream anymore. Whenever you walk past the Colosseum, you've literally got to just stop and stare. It's just such an iconic building, such an iconic structure, and just so much history here as well. Like, you can show this to, I think, almost anyone on Earth, a picture of the Colosseum, and they'll tell you exactly what it is. And of course, it's one of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites as well. So I love visiting UNESCO World Heritage Sites. I keep a little list, I know it's very sad, I keep a little list of all the ones that I've been to and just tick them off. Although I've ticked this off before, so it's not getting added to that, but still, stunning building, and I love coming here and just looking at it. I'm going to head up to Palatine Hill now. The way in is just over by there. I have made it into the Roma Forum and Palatine Hill area. Just like going into the Colosseum, there was a security check with an X-ray machine and a place that you have to put your phone, camera, etc. going through that X-ray machine, and a metal detector to walk through. Before going over in that direction towards the Forum and Palatine Hill, doubling back on myself, I haven't been over in this direction before, but I was looking up when I was by the Colosseum, and it looks like there's a really great elevated overlook of the Colosseum. So I'm going to go there now, see what it looks like, and see if I can take some nice photographs. One of them might even be the thumbnail for this video. I'm not sure yet. And this is that overlook. I can't believe I didn't come here last time I was in Rome. Absolutely stunning view of the Colosseum behind me here. Just sitting down for a couple of minutes to admire the view. I think I've relaxed enough here now. I'm going to explore the rest of Palatine Hill and the Roman Forum. While I'm walking over there, I don't think I've mentioned in this video why I'm actually in Rome today. If you've seen some previous videos, you might have worked it out, but I am travelling overland all the way from my home in North Wales, all the way to the most southern capital in Europe, Malta. Valletta in Malta. I'm going to do it over a few days. I'm using up my Interrail pass, which I got 2 months ago. So I've been on 2 trips to Switzerland already using it. I've got just a few days left before it expires. So I'm making the most of it by travelling using only trains and 2 ferries from my home in North Wales all the way to the island of Malta. I've got a whole day here. I arrived into Rome late last night. Tonight I'm going to be leaving on a sleeper train at 11:25. That's going to take me all the way to Sicily. I'm going to arrive there midday tomorrow, then going to get a ferry from Sicily all the way to the island of Malta. So it's a really exciting trip. Rather than combining this day in Rome into my North Wales or into my UK to Malta video, I thought I would do a separate video just for this. So I hope you're enjoying it. And actually, while I'm talking, this might be a good time to promote my Instagram channel. These videos normally take me weeks or even months to edit and upload to YouTube. If you want to see where I am when I am, you can check out my Instagram channel at Travel Shorts. I post regular live story updates from wherever we are around the world. So if you do want to know where I am, when I am, follow me on Instagram at Travel Shorts. Promotion over. And because I'm not leaving Rome till 11:25 tonight, I was a bit worried that I wouldn't have anything to do. Because obviously I checked out my hotel this morning. I've left my rucksack there. That's why I'm not carrying one today. So I have booked myself onto a ghost tour starting at 8 o'clock. It's going to last 2 hours until 10 o'clock. It's with Guru Walks again. So it is a free walking tour. Fingers crossed it'll be better than the one this morning. I've never been on a ghost tour before, especially a free walking ghost tour. So it'll be interesting to see what it's like. But that's still for another few hours yet, so I'm just going to keep exploring here. Like I said, I did come here about 3 years ago, so I know my way around a little bit. I might do the lower levels first, and then go up to Palatine Hill, which is over up there. Remember, there was a nice fountain up there where I filled my water bottles as well, but I'm not carrying a water bottle today. Just going to be buying drinks whenever I feel like I need one. So that was that Pepsi and that Lemonata earlier. And I tell you what, I am very thankful I put sun cream on today. As you can tell, the sun has been beating down all day and it's very, very warm. I've just seen a sign for Farnese Gardens. Didn't go to that last time, so I might start off my tour in this area there. Now, am I going to assume that translates to Nero's crypt? Let's go and take a look. So let's go down this tunnel. So that was a tunnel that was 130 meters in length. Not sure where we're coming out. Just take a look down there, but I might turn around and go back that way. Now I remember coming up here last time, and ahead of me, under these trees in the shade, there are a few benches. I wonder if there's going to be any that are free. I'll sit down and take a little break. Can't see any that are free, but there is a good lookout point from over there. So I'll go there first, then come back and see if I can sit down somewhere. There are some spectacular views from up here on the top of Palatine Hill. We just saw the whole of the Roman Forum below us. That monument where I started our group tour this morning is over there in the distance. Colosseum is in that direction. Now we're going to go back under those trees, see if I can find a bench, somewhere to sit down in the shade for a little bit. Even though I put some sun cream on this morning, my face is starting to feel a little bit tender. Oh, I can see a bench over here. I've been sitting here for quite a while now. I think it's time to head down to ground level, explore the Roman Forum, then leave and start walking towards where I'm going to be doing the ghost tour from. It's actually quite a distance from here. It's about a 40 to 45 minute walk away. It's currently, time is it, 20 past 6, and it's due to start at 8 o'clock. So I've still got an hour and 40 minutes. So that gives me an hour to walk around here, probably get another ice cream or a gelato, and get myself a drink on the way there. Actually, I've just noticed there was some vending machines just behind me there. So I got myself a drink. I'm going back to that bench I was on. I'm going to drink this, then I'm going to head down to the Roman Forum. I've finished my drink. It's time to head back down to the Forum. Now, this is going to show the demographics of my viewers. Does anybody remember the movie A Funny Thing That Happened on the Way to the Forum? It was a movie back in the 60s, so it's before my time, but I still like old comedies from that era. Starring Michael Crawford, Phil Silver, the guy that was in The Producers, I can't remember his name. Oh, Zero Mostel, something like that, I think it was. Had a number of songs. I think it was by Stephen Sondheim. Maybe. It's been a while since I've seen it. The main song was A Comedy Tonight. If you remember that movie, or if you've seen that movie, let me know in the comments down below. So even though it was before my time, still a great movie. Just reminded me of it then when I said let's go down to the Forum, because maybe a funny thing is going to happen on the way to the Forum now. I think I timed that wrong. I think every school group in the area is going down to the Forum at the moment. And now I can't get that tune out of my head, A Comedy Tonight. Don't worry, I'm not going to sing it though. I use the excuse that I might get a copyright strike, but in reality, you'd probably unsubscribe if you heard my singing voice. Okay, it looks like they're starting to close up this area, so guy there wouldn't let me go past. So I need to go back that way. Hopefully I can turn around, because I haven't explored that part of the Forum yet. Current time for reference is 6:33, so the whole area is due to close at 7:15. There are a lot of people walking in that direction, so hopefully I can go down that way. Maybe that's the funny thing that happened to me on the way to the Forum. It's closed. I guess everybody's making their way towards the exits now. There's quite a lot of people ahead of me. Not as many people behind me. But we're coming to the centre of the Forum here. This is the seat of power back in ancient Rome. This is the Forum where the senators, the politicians, they would come, they would make laws, they would debate. Everything that happened in the Roman Empire was decided here. So it's pretty historic. So that temple that I was just in behind me there is dedicated to Julius Caesar. So that is a temple of Julius Caesar, probably the most famous Roman there ever was. There you go, the temple dedicated to Julius Caesar. They've just come over the loudspeaker to announce that soon this archaeological park will be closing to leave, and the bathrooms will now be closed. Now, last time you could exit the park in this direction, but they've got a big tarp up, so I don't think we can exit that way unless we can Yeah, maybe we can go up that direction, because I don't want to go all the way back to the Colosseum area and only to just walk back. I want to go in that direction over there. Let's take one proper last look at the Roman Forum. The fact that people are walking in this direction might mean we can't exit in this direction. No, there's somebody that works here who's just put a rope across the way there. Let's see if we can find the nearest exit that doesn't involve heading all the way back over there to the Colosseum. A lot of people are turning left here. Hopefully there's a way out this way. I have just put into Google Maps where we need to go to start that walking tour. It's 2.5 kilometers away, and it's going to take 34 minutes to get there. Current time is 6:52. We should be there shortly. Hopefully we should see quite a few nice places along the way. It seems like all I'm doing today is walking past this building, the monument of Vittorio Emanuele II. Looks like I'm going to be heading back past the building that Benito Mussolini used to do his speeches from, and the building that Napoleon Bonaparte's mother used to live. So this building on the left here is where Mussolini used to do his speeches out of those windows. That balcony over there where the flags are, and that building over there is Bonaparte's mum's house. Looks like I'm going to be walking down this road for quite a bit. Still 24 minutes away. Well, that was a very quick look inside that church. Feel bad, I don't even know what it's called. I had a look inside, I couldn't see the name of anything in there. But very nice. Let's carry on walking to the meeting point for our walking tour. One of the cool things about Rome is you can just be walking down the street and you come across just something like this. I don't even know what it's called. Wow. I can see where I'm going to be meeting the guide for our next walking tour. It's right ahead of me here. It's the Castle St. Angelo. Now, I can remember walking past this before when I was walking back from Vatican City, which means it must be pretty close. I'm going to look at Google Maps now, because I've still got just under 30 minutes to go before I meet the guide. If Vatican City is literally 5 minutes away, I might just go there and back just to say I've done another country on this trip down to Malta. Now it's 21 minutes to get to Vatican City itself, but I think that's directing me to Cathedral of St. Peter. I wonder if I can see the border. Hold on a second. The border is 11 minutes away. That might just be kind of a bit too fine, 22 minutes. It's now 7:35. So I've got 25 minutes before the tour departs. I don't think I'm going to do it. So that wouldn't be the 6th country so far on this trip. I'm still on my 5th. And correct me if I'm wrong as well. I'm sure in the movie Roman Holiday starring Audrey Hepburn, she walked across this bridge to go to a party. I think. I'll have to do a bit more research. But obviously in Roman Holiday, there was many locations that were used in that film. Trevi Fountain, Spanish Steps. We're not going to go to the Spanish Steps, unfortunately, today, but we did see the Trevi Fountain earlier, even though it was just for a few minutes. Anyway, I'm going to hop across this bridge or walk across this bridge and have a closer look at the Castle St. Angelo. There's some great views both sides of this bridge looking up and down the river. So just like the Guru Walks tour this morning, this is a totally free walking tour, but if the guide does a good job, you are expected to give a tip at the end. Just like this morning's, I will leave a link in the description down below, or you can scan the QR code on the screen here to go to the Guru Walks website to book onto this trip. Like I said, it's 100% free to do a booking. So if you go on there, make a booking if you're coming to Rome and you want to go on this ghost walking tour. Due to start in about 15 minutes. This is the meeting spot outside the entrance to the Castle San Angelo. I'm just going to sit over by here and look at the river for the next 10 to 15 minutes. I've just looked at the Guru Walks website and this tour is down as being 1.5 hours. So I'll be finished by 9:30. That gives me enough time to get something to eat, head back to the hotel, pick up my bag and then go to the train station with plenty of time. I was a bit worried that I might not get enough time to get something else to eat, but if this is finishing at 9:30, I'll look where it's finishing as well, because if it's finishing by here, I am going to walk over to Vatican City to do the 6th country of this trip. So I have just finished that tour. It lasted, well, an hour and 20 minutes. It was a lot shorter than the tour this morning, but it was a lot better. Unfortunately, I can't really add that much into this video. Because it was advertised as a ghost tour, so I thought it might be a bit of fun, but it really wasn't. It was all about murders and worse things, using a lot of words that I cannot put on this channel. This is a family channel, so I couldn't really put anything on there, but it was an interesting tour. Like I said, I will leave a link in the description down below, or you can scan this QR code again on the screen here. The tour guide was really knowledgeable about the murders and everything else that happened in a number of buildings here. One of the things I can talk about, this statue here is dedicated to a man who was killed by the Vatican Church for suggesting 3 theories. One was the earth revolves around the sun. The second was Jesus wasn't the son of God, he was just a talented musician. And the third one was the Virgin Mary wasn't actually a virgin. I hope I can put that on this family channel. But yeah, so that statue is now dedicated to that man. He was killed in the year 1600, but the Vatican Church only acknowledged his murder was wrong back in the year 2000. Anyway, that's going to conclude my tour around Rome today. I'm now going to walk back to the hotel I stayed in last night, pick up my bag, head to the train station, and then get on a sleeper train, taking me all the way to Syracuse in Sicily tomorrow. So still keep watching. I've got a bit of a fun walk. It's actually going to take about 50 minutes to get back to my hotel. So we're probably going to find a number of things along the way. Yeah, let's head over there now. While I'm walking back to the hotel as well to pick up my bag, it might be a good time to tell you guys how I actually get data when I travel. I use an eSIM from a company called Airalo. I've been using them consistently for all my international travel since October 2023. Never had any issue with them. Currently use them on this trip and on every trip, like I say. Only 2 weeks ago, I was using them in China without any sort of issues whatsoever. If you are interested in Airalo, I will leave a link to them in the description down below, like everything else I'm doing in this video. Or you can scan the QR code on the screen here. And if you use my promo code, which is down the bottom of the screen there, you'll get $3 off your first purchase. Like I said, 100% recommended them. I'm not sponsored by them in any way. I only recommend companies and products that I personally use and I'm happy with. Wow. And it looks like I'm by here again, the monument there, Mussolini's building over there, Napoleon Bonaparte's mother's building here. It looks like all I've done all day is walk around in this area. And I'm back again for what, the 4th or the 5th time. I've just come to a supermarket, grabbed myself a large bottle of water for the train journey ahead. Just going to see if there's any other snacks I can get as well. Although I am hopefully got enough time to eat in the train station just before I leave. I have made it back to my hotel. I picked up my rucksack. I'm ready to head to the station now and continue on with my journey, which means I'm going to be bringing this video to an end. I hope you've enjoyed watching it as much as I've enjoyed being in Rome today. If you're new here, my name's Mark, and normally with my son Matthew and daughter Holly, we make travel and theme park videos from around the world. And if you've enjoyed this video, please think about liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell button. See you in the next one. Bye.